Right, welcome back. So yesterday's video, the screen was a little bit obscuring on the view, so I've taken off the screen to see if that looks any different and any better. It wasn't too bad, the view wasn't too bad, but I just thought I'd take the screen off to see if it looks any better. And I've changed the positioning of the mic from the right side to the left side, because obviously on the right side is where the exhaust is, and there's an POV exhaust on here which is quite loud, so I felt I was picking up a little bit too much on the video, so I've turned down the gain on the mic and the receiver to see if this looks a bit better. So we're doing another little ride. Started off at the beginning of the Rosen lane, and then this takes you up towards the White Cross. Morning, thank you. Yeah, so we're just going to go head up towards Eglwysillin and then perhaps head over towards Ponty, but I'm not going to drop down. I'm going to turn around and come back, so this is just a little test to see if the positioning is better without the screen, and a sound test. So, like I said yesterday, we're going out Sunday, which is tomorrow. Yeah, this is another local ride of mine. Lovely little picturesque. Morning. So there's the White Cross in. Good to see that that's still open and doing relatively well. I love driving through this part here. It's like a scene out of Heartbeat. That'd be another nice place to ride. This building on the left here, this one, that used to be a farm and an old barn there, and I remember years ago we used to play in that barn on all the hay, play Dead Man's Fall, and we got caught by one of the farmers. Good laugh. On the left then is where one of the famous rugby clubs. Not sure if he still lives there actually. Quite narrow this lane, so you've got to be on the guard all the time. So if something comes on the corner, you're basically meeting them head on. So on the bike you can try and squeeze up the side. If I went left by here, that dropped down to the old Nangaro. Old Nangaro Road down back of GE, and just going to head over. Lovely day. Forecast to get a little bit cloudy and possible rain showers later. So just getting out early this morning to make the most of the day. Left, that's where one of the Pascos used to live. These are nice as well. Have a look for you, on the right hand side is a set of white steps. There they are. I always remember years ago when we was coming down the opposite way down the hill, one of my mates crashed into that on his drop handle, bent all the front wheel and his forks. On the right up here, there used to be a farm. It's gone now. I can't remember, I'm not sure if it used to be called Ronnie Wool's farm. And a couple of the boys in school used to go up there and hire a horse off him and bring the horse down to the school fields. And I always remember going up there years ago, probably about 36, 7 years ago. We went up and exploring, and the farm was closed down. The building was still there, this one here. And there was an old, like a World War II motorbike and sidecar up there. I'm not sure if it had a sidecar. I think it did, or something like that. But the motorbike itself had, like on a tank. Forget what it's called now. Mine's gone blank. Tracks, you know, like tracks, like on a tank. Alright. Starting to open up a bit now, the views are better. And the lane's a little bit wider. Just on the right hand side is Mudded Mayo. One of my good friends, Rodri, he loves that place. And on the right we'll be approaching a place called what we used to call the Black Hospital. Now I have done some research and I can't find a lot of research on it, but there's footings there, and you know the old slab is there. You can see where the hospital used to be. I can't quite remember when I was a kid and we used to come up there if the walls and that was up. But anyway, there used to be a hospital of some sort there, and that's where they say they used to treat people dealing with the Black Plague many years ago. I don't know how true it is. Like I said, it's just what we used to talk about as kids. We used to call it the Black Hospital. That doesn't look the most secure, does it? That load on there. Wouldn't want that coming off, that's for sure. But as this tractor's in front of us, I'll try and pull up by where the Black Hospital was now and let that tractor pass. Yeah, I'll give you a little look what we was on about. I was on about as well, my mate who likes this place. He's in a band and they have released an album, and he did come up here and do some filming for one of his albums. We're going off-road, guys, we're going off-road. Burp, burp. Used to come up here on a motocross bike years ago. Oh, the Vespa handle's nice off-road. So as you can see, there's one slab there and the slab there, and yeah, it's not very big, so I don't know how many people they would have treated there or how many beds they would have had, but I think years ago obviously they'd bring people with something like whatever virus you had out of the way to be away from people. But I know they used to build asylums and mental hospitals out of the way because they thought one of the things to make you better was being in fresh air and somewhere where you had beautiful views. And you have got some cracking views up here. Well, watch out for this bloody cattle grid. It is marked to be done. Bloody lethal. You wouldn't want to be hitting that at speed on a Vespa, that's for sure. Hopefully this tractor has turned left, because I want to carry straight on. No, my luck, he's gone straight on. Quite bumpy by here. Ah, no, he's gone straight on. So if he's going to be going the way I was intentionally going to go, I think I'll just go up to the Rosen Crown up by here now and turn round. It's another pub that's closed down, which is shocking to see such a building such as the Rosen Crown closed down. I know it's got to be hard for pubs these days, but it's the kind of pub where, you know, people did go and have food and all sorts, and it was a lovely pub. So it's sad to see that closed down. And the church, that's also closed down, and you can no longer have wedding receptions or funerals or anything there, because apparently the church used to use the car park which belongs to the Rosen Crown, and because that's closed down and they haven't got any parking anymore, this is only what I've heard, mind, that's why the churches have to close down. But it's a shame, because it's a really nice church, and went to 2 cracking little weddings there. I made Gouldies, and the Welsh Abervalley male voice choir was there. Brilliant, especially in there, cracking it was. So that's the Rosen Crown. And there's Eglwysillin. So there's the car park. Sad to see, innit? We used to come up here on a Sunday. We'd ride over from being on our bikes over Penrose or whatever, on our motocross bikes, and have a shandy there. And the pub there, I don't know what's going on with this pub, the church. I wonder if that actually still in use. Right, let's just see if this tractor's going to go right or left. If he goes right, I can carry on, but if he's going left, I'll have to turn around and come back. I'll be surprised, mind, if he's gone left and he goes down the big hill, because oh, he has gone left. He hasn't even got it ready. Oh wait, there. He hasn't got his A-bill strapped on that, so he wouldn't want to be going down that hill and up that big hill, but well, he is. That surprised me. So I'm just going to turn around and go back the way I come. I'll be stuck behind that tractor all day. I don't know how far over he's going. I wasn't going to go too much further, only probably about 1.5 miles, 2 miles over. Yeah, but look at that lovely church. So I got a story about that church, and I don't know how true this story is, but in school our RE teacher, Mr. Gary Plumley, lovely teacher, he said he was taking a lesson, and one of the boys, little Johnny for instance, fell asleep while he was taking a lesson. So he banged on the table, little Johnny shot up, and he said, "Little Johnny, why are you so tired?" And he said, "Oh, because I was up late last night, sir, stealing all the lead off Eglwysillin Church." And the teacher said, "Stealing all the lead off Eglwys Church? Does your father know about this?" And he said, "Yes, sir. He was down on the bottom holding the wheelbarrow while I was throwing the lead down to him." I don't know whether that's a true story or not, but the teacher said it was, and I can imagine it being true. So yeah, we just passed the junction on the right. If you dropped down to there, you would have went down to Taff Valley Activity Centre, where they do all the quad bike riding and stuff. I'll take you on a loop of all that next time. see all this is all marked out to be redone, so hopefully it will be done soon, because this lane is quite bad. When we was kids, we'd always come up here on the motorbikes or walking, and we'd quite often see people launching from there on hang gliders and with parachutes and doing the, what's that called then? Paragliding? Or was that when they're on the water? But anyway, yeah, you'd see that quite often. A little biker. Hi buddy! Cracking views. You can see the actually see the sea from here. Oh, what cows! All chilled out. I haven't seen cows in that field before. I've only ever seen. Oh, there's water in there. That's why they're in there. Sheep in there. Oh, I tell you what I'll do when I get back, halfway back, I'll head right down towards Old Nangara Road, turn left then up the back of GE, past the garden centre, then I'll come up through Gypsy Lane and then back down to where we started. I always remember years ago as well, me and my two cousins on a 50cc automatic rev and go like this. Riding up these lanes. Funny. Yeah, so I just seen another one of the boys, and he's got a big BMW 1200cc. I've just invited him out tomorrow, and he's up for the ride. He just wants me to let him know as soon as possible what time we're leaving. So hopefully tomorrow it'll be me, Josh, Glyn and Chris, and possibly the Walkley brothers. Yeah, years ago the boys coming down here, one on the grifter, one on the drop handle, flying down, come round this corner, couldn't bend, boosh, straight into that wall there. Martin Humphreys. Yeah, we used to cycle these lanes all the time, man. When we was in school, every summer there'd be a sponsored walk, and you'd walk up this way, up the top then, where I just turned round, you turn right, drop down into Abertridge, and then come back over the lanes through Endradenny. Another little nice loop I can take you on, just for a little quick one. So yeah, I'm going to turn right by here now. So we come up there from the left. On the right hand side, behind all these trees, is the Old Nangaro tip. And people that ride motorbikes and all sorts over there now. Not supposed to, but they do. It's a nice little ride as well. Through all this, coming up on a manual mountain bike is quite steep, and on video cameras the hardest thing to pick up is the gradient and the pitch of a hill or a banking. I remember when I used to film all the trials riding, some of the climbs were so steep, but you'd see it on video and you couldn't really tell whether it was uphill or downhill or how steep it was. But yeah, it's a nice little climb, this is. It's funny, whenever I'm in certain places, you're probably the same, you get memory flashbacks of what happened there And my memory flashback is coming up here about 6 o'clock in the morning after I'd been out all night, and me and my mate on a bike ride. It was boiling hot. I didn't have no top on, I was sweating, and I had a horse fly on my back coming up here. And I remember screaming like, what's the matter? There's something on my back, and there's a blinking horse fly. There we go. Thank you. So yeah, I'm gonna go left by here now, which goes up behind the back of GE. And Tiffany Garden Centre. That's a good thing on these bikes, you do get a lot more people, thank you, giving way for you than what you would if you was in a car or if you was on like a big bike. Yeah, so hopefully the sound is going to be a bit better, and the view, I wasn't too bothered with the view. It did look alright, but you couldn't kind of see the road immediately, you know. The new cemetery on the left, and then that's the other entrance for G. You've got Caerphilly Garden Centre there on your right. That's the exit. We're going to go left down here now towards, well, it is Gypsy Lane, and obviously you've got the Wild Meadow Wildlife Park here. So hopefully there's not too much traffic here. The last time we walked through here a few months ago, there was a lot more traffic because obviously they got the wildlife meadow farm there now, and it generates a bit of traffic, which is alright if you're in a car. You've got to be a little bit careful. If you, whoa, what's she doing? That's alright. Yeah, there's no kind of public footpath here. Well, this lane used to be in terrible condition over the years, and it's not much better now. We should sort this out. I will bring this to your authorities' attention. So yeah, the Meadows Wildlife Park. It's a cracking little place to go. Fairly new. About 4 years old now, I imagine. It's just there on your left. Years ago, that's the car park now, but a few years ago with my friend Gary, he's no longer with us, God bless him, but he was in that field. We was up here walking around and he was in that field. He was only probably about 10 years of age, because that's what kids did back in them days. And I remember these cows in there, they seemed absolutely like giant cows. I've never seen cows that big in my life. And it was boiling hot. Shorts and t-shirt. We was playing in the stream, and we dared each other to stand in the big cow path barefooted. So yeah, you got a little stream here that runs down to Darkey's tunnels, which you would have seen on one of my previous videos. I can remember this as well, this little channel on the left. It was level with the road, but it's gone really deep now. Honestly, with the erosion over the years, it's quite deep. It might have been always that deep, but I can't remember being such a drop off there. Yeah, we used to be up here all the time. All the time. pushing a DT125 from where I live all the way up here, squirrel, and trying to bump start. They're thinking, oh, this hill is massive, you'll push it down this hill, it'll bump start. But it wasn't having none of it, and it was basically because the piston rings had gone on the bike and they were so warm it just couldn't generate the compression. But yeah, this is another really steep hill. Probably can't see it on the camera, but it is really steep. So yeah, we just come up this way and went straight up. On the left hand side here is, that'll take you over to Abertridor. I can remember as a kid as well, the barn here being abandoned on the right there. It's a lovely house now, but you know what it's like when you're a kid. People would tell ghost stories. They always used to say that it was haunted, and I think there was like a chopped off hand found in there once, which was obviously just nonsense. So this is where we started the ride off. This is Hendredeni. There's a lane there on your right which used to be the lane bringing you straight into the lane where we used to come, and obviously you can walk it, and there's no reason why you couldn't drive a bike down there. So I'm going to have to find out if you can actually take a motorbike down it, because there's no signs saying no motor vehicles either end. And although there are barriers there, to quite clearly state you can't take a car that I put down there, there's nothing saying you can't. And to be honest with you, if you wasn't from the area and you turned left up towards Angel Lane, you could quite easily follow that up to Hendredeni, come out the other end, and you wouldn't even know that you shouldn't be on that road if that is the case. But anyway, that is today's ride completed. That's just to see if the view is better without the visor and check my sound. So thank you for watching, guys, and keep an eye out for tomorrow's video, which will probably be uploaded Sunday or Monday. Alright, thank you very much. Catch you on the next one.